Met in person one time, drunk in a bar. We exchanged Instagram contacts and had a few small chats here and there. I decided to ask her out and she said yes. Then I checked her profile and posts, and now I don't think she's my type. I know I should have checked it sooner, but what's done is done. How do I cancel without being rude and hurting her feelings? Story 1. I would probably just go on the date, and then if she doesn't change your mind, tell her you don't think this is going to work. Story 2. Yes, I say just go on one date and at least give her a tiny chance. If you still do not like her, then say you were not feeling it and move on. Story 3. Unless her account revealed a major warning sign and not just a difference in lifestyles, you should still go on the first date. What did you find? Story 4. Go on the date. Treat it as two potential friends having a drink and see what you think in person. The version of themselves people present on Instagram is at best just a facet of themselves and often a projected one. Story 5. Dude. Seriously, go on one date. I cannot tell you the success stories I have heard and seen with my own eyes after people I have known wanted to cancel on the first date. Unless you fundamentally disagree on morals, then give it a shot. What do you have to lose? You may gain a friend. Story 6. A novel approach. Go on the date. Instead of basing everything on social media, how about talking? Get to know her in person. Find out for yourself if there is any gray in your black and white worlds. If the date does not go well, there will not be a second. You do not have to ask. Consider it practice for real human interaction. Story 7. Honestly, just go on the date. Social media is incredibly fake to begin with. Worst case scenario, you just say you didn't feel like you two clicked. If you really aren't feeling it, let her know your feelings have changed and that you were sorry. Be an adult and don't beat around the bush. But don't be mean. If she asks why, tell her you have been thinking about it and just don't feel like you two would be a good pair, or that you don't feel there is chemistry and you don't want to waste each other's time. Make it about how you have changed, not about how she has changed. Story 8. Just be gentle. Say, you seem like a cool person, but I don't think I'm ready to go out with anyone right now. I apologize for wasting your time. No hard feelings. It works because it takes the disappointment off her and puts it on you. Now she doesn't think anything is wrong with her, and you got out of the situation safely. Also, don't go out with anyone that week because you'll look suspicious dating someone new the next day. Story 9. Hey man, if you're actively dating, this happens once in a while. Here's my advice. If the date is within 24 hours, go on the date, go for drinks during happy hour. Total will be less than $20. And just enjoy yourself. You'll be in and out in 90 minutes. If you have a day or more before the date, you can text her and say, I'm sorry, but I'm no longer available. You can cancel respectfully. It's about respecting her time since you asked her out. Just be a gentleman and not a jerk. Story 10. Easy, you go hang for 20 minutes while drinking coffee. If you have not reevaluated your attraction, then you can end it early and say you had an experience. Hold yourself accountable to your intoxicated self. Story 11. She is probably not that invested anyway. You have two options. 1. Just go with it, maybe have a little fun. Say, hey, sorry I changed my mind about the date. Story 12. Just a message saying sorry, but you have had a change of heart. Do not leave it until 5 minutes before the date and time. Do it as soon as possible. Story 13. Just cancel the date, man. If she cares about the date at all, there is no way to do it without hurting her anyway, so just get it over with. Story 14. Just be honest and say, I am going to need to cancel the date and do not plan on dating you in the future. Story 15. You should go on the date. Maybe she can change your mind. There is nothing to lose, only to gain. If you still do not like her, you can simply not ask her out again or show her that you are not interested. Story 16. No man, go see her again. Give it a real chance. For your information, my current girlfriend was not my type either, but it worked out great and I misjudged her way too early. Just try it out. Split the bill if necessary, and no harm will be done to anyone. Story 17. What was on her Instagram? Was it something wild like blatant racism or still being married? Or was she maybe just not as cute as she seemed in person? If it is the first, a text would be fine. If it is the latter, go on the date anyway. She may surprise you, and you have nothing to lose by being a decent person. I met my current partner through an app, and if I am being honest, he was not very good looking. All of his photos were more than 10 years old and from bizarre angles, but I ended up on a date with a real-life Ken doll, essentially an Abercrombie model. I was not too thrilled for the date because I did not realize he was so handsome. If I had known, I would have put in far more effort to impress him, but I got the man anyway. Story 18. Do not avoid her. Simply say you are not interested and can no longer make the date. That is it. Then you can end all contact with her. It is not like you are trying to be her friend, but at least give her closure. Story 19. Some of the best dates I have ever had are from women who I thought would not be my type. Literally type-altering dates. Just go. If it does not go well, cut it short and do not schedule another one. Story 20. What did you see on her profile that was bad enough to make you sure you would not get along? Story 21. Apart from the most respectable way of simply canceling and wishing her the best, which everyone has already mentioned, you can also 1. Make up a long-term ex coming back into your life, someone you never got over and want to make things work with. Tell her you're still not over this made-up ex and don't feel ready to go out and try dating again. The first option happened to me a few times before I met my wife, and I naturally wish them the best because many of us have been there. Story 22. Honestly, my social media reflects probably 30% of who I am as a man. If I connect with her in person and her social media is not all attention-seeking posts, I see no reason to cancel. Story 23. Life is short. Go on the date and then tell her you did not really feel a connection. Or maybe you will connect well. Story 24. Safe in a way that does not hurt her feelings? You cannot control that part, but you can say it nicely without insulting her. You can say, "Hey, I know this is out of the blue, but I have to cancel our date. I hope it does not inconvenience you." She may ask why. Then you could be extra honest, which could be painful or help her see a perspective she might not know or notice. Or you could just say, "It is not something I want to talk about at this moment," and maintain honesty. Story 25. Rejoice, for you now have a second opportunity to determine if she is your type or not. Social media is only a part of the story, often the silliest one. Story 26. Go on the date and meet someone new or learn something. Not a lot of bad can come from it. If not, cancel politely well in advance. Story 27. How hurt her feelings are is something you cannot control. Could range from not caring at all to becoming a stalker or a victim. This applies to women as well. In this political climate, I will say it. Be direct and say something like this. "Hey, I'm sorry to disappoint, but I have to cancel on insert day of date. I want to be honest because I do not want to waste your time, but I am not feeling the chemistry. I hope there are no hard feelings. Take care. Feel free to adjust the message as you like. There is no need to continue texting after that. The goal is to cancel the date." Story 28. Clear is kind, brother. Just let her know you are canceling the date because you are no longer interested. No hard feelings. Story 29. The truth is, if it is not meant to be, then it is not meant to be. However, telling her the truth is the right thing to do. Story 30. Goddamn, is this what life is now? Online posts replacing in-person chemistry? How drunk were you when you met her? What was so bad on that Instagram that now you are having second thoughts? Until we get an answer to that, just go on the date. Worst case scenario, you have to spend a somewhat awkward hour and then call it quits. Story 31. You should just go on the date. If you liked her enough to ask her out personally, that should be what matters. You obviously asked her out for a reason. 99% of the time, what people post on social media is not their actual personality but an online persona to meet social media standards. If you are going to judge whether a girl is your type based on social media posts, despite having an actual conversation with her, you will let people slip through the net who could actually be ideal for you. It is just one date. What is the harm? You could have a great time and get to know her on a deeper level. It is a shame social media has influenced your decision to reject someone based on what they post. Story 32. I mean, what on Instagram is so bad that you want to completely bail on maybe 2 hours of socializing? Just see it through. If you still feel the same, do not go on a second date. Story 33. This is 100% the correct answer. I am a female currently dating on the applications, and I would much rather you cancel on me than waste my time. Please just cancel. Use one of the great quotes listed above. Story 34. Go on the date. Worst case, you may end up just friends. I met a girl a while ago who was not my type, or so I thought. Now we are dating, and it is the best relationship I have been in so far. Story 35. You liked her enough in real life to ask her out, and now you're not sure she's your type based on how she looks on social media. Maybe she just looks better in reality. Go on the date and then make up your mind. This is one date, not a marriage proposal. Story 36. It's dating. People are going to get hurt in dating. She needs to just learn to live with it. It sucks, yes, but by honoring yourself, you do a better job of maintaining boundaries and trusting yourself. Just be honest. Honesty hurts way less than not being honest. Story 37. Safely? Safe from what? So say exactly what you just typed. I checked your profile and posts, and now I don't think you're my type. However, why not just go on the date? You may have more fun than you were expecting. She might have a friend who is attractive, or you may just have a nice date and then go your separate ways. I have always tried to meet everything with an open mind, and it has rarely caused problems. You will either end up with a good date, a good friend, or a good story. Story 38. Go on the date, man. Who cares if she is not your type? Just have a good time with another person. If it does not work out, you are not a flake. If it does work out, even better. Story 39. I am really disappointed in a lot of these comments telling you to do it anyway. Hi. I have to cancel our date, unfortunately. Nothing personal. You are probably amazing, but I do not think we are aligned in a way that would make a good match, and I do not want to waste your time. I really enjoyed talking to you the other night. Simple as that. Story 40. Hey, I'm sorry, but I need to cancel our date. Things have changed on my end, so I will not be rescheduling. I hope you find what you were looking for. Good luck. I am not a fan of over-explaining. What bothers you might not bother someone else. The goal here is to close the matter, not open it for debate and argument. His friends should be consoling him on how to approach dating. That is not your responsibility. Going into details like, you sent me too many messages and it turned me off invites argument. Story 41. Go on the one date. If you still feel the same way afterward, tell her you do not feel the connection to continue pursuing a romantic relationship and part as friends. Always err on the side of being too kind. Story 42. I'm with everyone here. Quit thinking about it too much. Just go on the date. Don't even consider it a date. Just think of it as hanging out and getting to know someone, and don't put any pressure on yourself. Since you've already decided that she's not your type, there's no pressure to impress her. Just go have fun. And if it doesn't work out, end it respectfully by saying something like, thanks for hanging out, but I have other things I need to take care of. In summary, just do it because you never know what you might miss out on. Story 43. Well, if you want to cancel, just tell her you cannot make it with any excuse and that is it, unless you want to keep the window open and take a rain check. My true advice is to not judge anyone based on their social media presence or postings. I have seen some of the most inappropriate people have a saint-like presence online, while some OnlyFans creators are truly some of the simplest and most introverted people I have met. Doctors are just plain trolls online, and that one friend is like an online political machine. So, do not judge a book by its online cover. Story 44. Tell her your entire family just died in a plane crash, and you will be busy processing it for the rest of your life. Story 45. Go on the date, and if you still do not want to, then just say you are a nice person but you do not really feel a connection and do not want to take this any further. Story 46. Be a man. Tell her you have to go to the bathroom after ordering appetizers and sneak out the side door. Story 47. Like others have said, what exactly did you see on her Instagram that is so bad you do not want to go out with her? I mean, if her page was filled with content like vaccines kill or other nonsense, then yes, I would cancel and be honest about it. Otherwise, go and have a good time with another person. Story 48. The number of people telling you to go on the date anyway, without considering what you have learned about this person that put you off, is surprising. Do not listen to them. You do not owe anyone a date. Do what you want. Story 49. I suggest you stop worrying about possibly hurting her feelings. Tell the truth, and do not go on the date. Story 50. Don't be so judgmental. You liked her enough to ask her out, so just give her a chance. People are often more complex than our first impression of them. Go on one date, then decide if you want to see her again. Story 51. You could just say, I'm sorry to do this, but I don't know if going out on a date is a good idea right now. I don't want to waste your time. Thank you for understanding. What is the worst thing that could happen? She will not agree to go out on a date with you again. Story 52. Take her to Walmart around 9 p.m. They significantly mark down the rotisserie chicken around that time. Wait there until they do and make sure she knows about the great deal you are about to get. It is about $2 for a whole cooked chicken. Then eat it in the parking lot with your hands. If she is into it, you keep her forever. Story 53. Oh, dude, it happens more than you think. So first, what is the reason? Just not feeling it? Something came up? Or maybe vibes changed? Whatever it is cool. It just helps to know how honest you want to be. If it is a simple not feeling it, you can keep it chill and respectful. Like, hey, I have been thinking, and I do not want to waste your time. I am realizing I am not in the right headspace to date right now. Really sorry for the short notice. Hope you understand. Key thing? Be kind. Be clear. Do not ghost. Ghosting is the worst. Just do it nicely and smoothly. Story 54. Just tell her something came up and you have to cancel. If she wants to know why, say, I'm sorry, it's kind of personal. If she keeps pressing, say, we do not know each other well enough. That will probably be what I would do. Story 55. Double down and go. Sometimes, believe it or not, opposites attract. In the worst case scenario, you decline a second date. In the best case, you find the one you want to be with. Story 56. Honestly, I would just go on the date. Have fun and do not worry about it not going anywhere. What do you realistically lose by going? Story 57. Commit to it. Worst that happens, you have dinner with someone you don't click with, but you gave it a chance. We all have different personas with different people and on different platforms. That is a thing she portrayed but may not necessarily be who she wants to be, who she is at her core, or it may be a phase. I am no stranger to people passing me over for my outward appearance. I look big, mean, and grumpy and possibly start off too many sentences with, I am not racist, but when I am actually not racist at all. Big and mean is situationally true. Story 58. Just cancel. Don't waste her time and yours by going. If you are old enough to get intoxicated, you should be responsible and tell her. Story 59. Her feelings will likely be hurt no matter how safely, comfortably, or kindly you reject her. So get that idea out of your mind first. With that done, tell her the truth. I asked you out before I thought to look up your profile and posts, and now that I have, I no longer feel like we would fit well together. I am canceling our date. Or just flat out tell her, I am canceling our date. And if she asks why, say, I just do not feel like dating right now. Story 60. I don't want to go on a date anymore. I don't think we are going to get along. I hope you have a good life, and I am sorry if I wasted your time in any way. Her. She should respect your choice if you talk to her respectfully and are clear about your new lack of interest. Story 61. Hey, I met someone I really connected with, and we are going to see where it goes. It would be unfair of me to go on our date, so I will have to cancel. Story 62. Tell her you are canceling because you have had a change of mind and decided it is for the best to part ways. At least you are thinking instead of ghosting. Also, being truthful is always best. Story 63. Go on the date. If you still are not interested in her after the date, then you can decline future ones. If social media shows red flags that are deal breakers for you, tell her that. Explain that you see she is interested in a topic, and you do not feel compatible with such a person, so there is no point in wasting her time on a date. Story 64. Hey, I know I asked you out, but I've changed my mind. Apologies for the inconvenience. If she then asks why, you can tell her why, or you can just shut it down with, I'm not interested. Bye. She is probably going to be unhappy. Your job is not to make her happy. Your job is to exit the situation as politely as you can. Story 65. People's social interactions are rarely the whole story. Keep an open mind, see if you enjoy yourself, and then proceed from there. Story 66. I checked her profile and posts, and now I don't think she is my type. How is she not your type? It is just one date. You do not have to get married. Story 67. Show up for the date, but have a few of your guy friends come along in plain clothes, claim to be immigration and customs enforcement agents, and abduct you. Fight tooth and nail to try and stay at the date while screaming, I'll call you, as they tase you repeatedly and drag you into an unmarked vehicle. Go completely dark online for a week, then delete all your social media accounts abruptly and move to a new location. Never go to that bar again, and if you told her where you work, you will need to quit and find a new job. If she still contacts you, get a restraining order immediately. Story 68. A date for once would not hurt, I think. It would be a fun experience. Probably will not progress anyway, even if she was your type. Nothing goes perfectly smooth. Story 69. Sometimes what you think is your type ends up not being it. Going outside of your comfort zone might reveal this. This is just a thought based on experience, unless she is doing things on social media that totally disgust you. Story 70. Go on the date. Forget about the social media stuff. Just go hang out. Social media is weird. I have best friends whose social media I dislike, but they are amazing people. Let that go and have fun. Story 71. I'm not sure there is a way to cancel it and save her feelings. Sorry. If you really want to do the right thing, just be brave and go on the date. Talk to her and be honest about your likes, dislikes, life, and everything. Then she will probably not want to see you again anyway. Win-win. Story 72. Just go through with it, dude. If she is not your type, then you have nothing to expect unless you have a revolving door of dates lined up. Story 73. You would surely hurt her feelings, but it is better to be honest about it, right? Not brutally honest, though. Just say you are sorry and that you have changed your mind. If you are really completely sure about it, do it as soon as possible, because the sooner, the less it hurts. Also, be sure to never change your mind again, and please leave her alone. Story 74. Do you think you could have a pleasant few hours with her? Then why not meet and enjoy? If you really think it is going to be a bad experience for both, just be friendly but honest. Story 75. Go on the date with an open mind. This does not mean you have to be okay with everything that is said or done. You might realize that you judged a book by its cover. Stand up for yourself and let her know that you have considered things and do not think you are compatible. That is respectable. What you do not want to do is make up an excuse and be the type of person who cannot stand up for himself. Story 76. I would just go with it. 80% of my dates I only intended as one and done. Somewhere affordable, polite small talk, and then go your separate ways. Story 77. You want to cancel based on her social media posts? Unless she is posting hate speech or something like that, what put you off so much? How do I cancel it without being unpleasant and hurting her feelings? I mean, be an adult about it and say, I am not interested. You are not going to avoid hurting her feelings when you are canceling on her based on her Instagram. Story 78. It's surprising to me that people say, just go on the date, without knowing what the original poster saw. But if it was a woman posting, it would suddenly be all red flags, don't go on the date, what if he kidnaps you, or something similar. Why can't women be dangerous too? Story 79. Hi, I just wanted to say I have enjoyed our conversation so far, but I am not interested in taking our relationship further. Sorry for canceling. I hope you find someone else. Story 80. You can either tell her the truth. Hey, after seeing on Facebook that you are XYZ, I do not think we are compatible. You can give a white lie. Hey, I am sorry, but after some self-reflection, I do not think I am ready for dating. Some people may think you should still go, but only you know this. For example, did you see on Facebook that she does not like football and you do? Or did you see she is right-handed while you are left-handed? Story 81. Go on the date with an open mind. If you do not connect, you have an easy way out with no hurt feelings. You asked her out, you have to follow through. Story 82. Just go on the date. Have a couple of drinks. Maybe you will have fun. If not, do not ask for a second one. Stop overthinking it. Story 83. You seem nice, but I am not interested. Take care. This is not rocket science, brother. You are an adult. Handle it. Story 84. If you can, give her a chance. I am sure you have always wanted a second chance from people who were not feeling it with you. Story 85. I would not judge people based on something as shallow as social media, as that is likely not their true self. Just go on the date. Story 86. Go on the date. The worst thing that happens is that you do not feel a connection. The best thing that can happen is that your initial assessment of her based on her Instagram is wrong and you do feel a connection. Maybe you find a friend. Either way, it will not harm you. Who knows, even though it is not a reason to go on a date, maybe the girl needs the date for her confidence. Story 87. You are better off going on the date and seeing if it works out rather than looking back and thinking what if. Story 88. Some people's online personas are different from their real personas. Go on the date. What is the worst that can happen? You lose a couple of hours of your life. Story 89. Had a change of heart. I do not think we should proceed with the date. Thank you for your interest and good luck in the future. Story 90. You are asking out girls when drunk and making decisions about their type based on stalking their social media. Tell her you have some mental health issues and want to straighten yourself out before starting to date anyone. Story 91. You met her in person and thought she was your type. I'm confused why you would let her online presence deter you when you already did the hard part and established in-person chemistry. Story 92. What do you have to lose except a few hours of time? Plus, maybe her real personality will not reflect her internet personality and you will be pleasantly surprised. Or you will find there's more to her than Instagram or other posts. Story 93. What is wrong with just telling her that you did not think you would be compatible after comparing social media histories? Do you really think there is a safety issue here? Story 94. Hey, I do not really care to get to know you as a person because I have already judged you based on your posts. I cannot see past superficial things to your heart, and I will not waste either of our time because I am not ready for a relationship based on love. I am more looking for a friend with a nice figure. Peace. Story 95. Have you checked her Instagram? Tell her just like you posted this with poor grammar. She will think she dodged a bullet and you will both be safe. Story 96. Everyone saying, man up and just tell her you're not interested, doesn't seem to understand that he wants to do it without hurting her feelings. Imagine someone asked you out and then, when it comes to making plans, they say, sorry, not interested. Have a nice day. How does that not hurt your feelings? Story 97. You have no control over how she will react. You only have control over how you handle the situation. If you do not want to feel like a bad person, be respectful and honest. If she thinks you are a bad person for being respectful and honest, that is for her to deal with. Story 98. Go on the date, but do not lead her on if your feelings are confirmed. The key word is confirmed, since what you saw is social media and that is not real. Story 99. I think you should keep the date because at the very least you will go on a fun date with a friend. It does not have to become romantic, right? Story 100. Honestly, this requires context. If you saw on her social media that she is just a little more annoying than you thought, go on the date. Social media can have slight effects on tonal influence, and she could be a perfectly fine individual. If you saw on her social media that she is actually racist, sexist, or happily supporting people who hold those views openly, do not go on the date. For me, this comes down to the reason you do not want to. Are you judging tone on small details? That is not fair to her. Alternatively, if you now see she is an abhorrent excuse for a human, she can go straight to hell. Story 101. What exactly is on Instagram? If it is hateful messages about politics, I would tell her directly that I do not like the hate. If she looks like a party girl, I would go on the date. I do not want to date a party girl, an influencer, or an OnlyFans girl. Many people try to make their social media look like that when they are not like that in real life. My niece is one of them. I spent a day with family, and this niece was there. She came and cooked breakfast for my parents and the rest of the family. Then her friends came to help clean up. We all went for a walk on the sandy beach and had a picnic. It was a very family-oriented, wholesome day. So what does this young woman post on Instagram? It shows photos of her and her friends jumping around, hugging, and looking like party girls. One girl is holding a red Solo cup, so it looks like beer or a large mixed drink. It happened to be litter that blew off the table, and she is picking it up. The photos show one thing, and the story behind it is completely different. I know she does not drink and is not comfortable around drunks. Most of the day is family-oriented. The pictures show a different story, so getting to know this person might be in order here. Story 102. Do not say you do not want a relationship or that you need to cancel. These things make her think you want to reschedule or that you are using an excuse. Tell her you do not feel a connection with her or that you are not right for each other. However, I advise you to reconsider and try at least one date unless it goes against your values. Before I met my husband, I did not think I would be interested in him because he was not tall, but when we met, it was practically love at first sight. Story 103. Hey girl, I really enjoyed chatting at the pub this weekend and was looking forward to our date, but I have to cancel. I don't think I'm in the right headspace to be dating at the moment. Wish you all the best. Story 104. Just cancel before the date. If she is that upset about a canceled date, be glad it did not go any further. Story 105. Social media is not real life. You have already connected in person and you clearly got on well. It is just a first date. No one is forcing you to see her again if it does not go well. Story 106. Straight up own it. Tell her you have changed your mind and you are not interested in dating her. You owe her no explanation. The end. Story 107. Quit being timid and go on the date. You never know who you may connect with. It is usually not what you expect. Story 108. One date could be fun. You are not going to want to marry everyone you date. Who knows? Keep it casual. It does not have to be filled with meaning. People exaggerate on social media. I am bad at making up excuses to cancel plans. You could try calling her and asking if she still wants to go out. Give her a chance to maybe change her mind. You could say that since you were both tipsy, it is okay if she is not really into it. Of course, she could still want to see you, so maybe being honest is best. You could mention what it was in her Instagram that makes you wonder if you are her type. I am totally curious now. Let me know what happens. Story 109. If she is not your type, consider going on a short date and using it as practice for first date conversations. Then say you did not feel a connection and do not see her again. If you are concerned for your safety physically, mentally, or socially, simply stop responding to her. Story 110. Original poster could be honest about seeing posts and admit he is now not sure about going out. If she gets offended, she can consider co-canceling. Story 111. Do not overthink it. Girls cancel dates all the time without a second thought. Just say you are not feeling it and cannot come to the date. Story 112. Give it a shot. People are not always themselves online. If she is who she portrays herself to be online, at least you can say you met her and did not judge her based on something that might not be real. Story 113. This is funny. I feel like you need to date outside your type at times. Type is a pattern. If you find your relationships are not working out, then that type you have is not working for you. Be with someone who helps you grow and introduces you to something new. It's okay to be the person who does not date outside your type, but true love is seeing someone for who they are, realizing you enjoy being around them and accepting that. Not thinking about the superficial. It's about being with the person who makes you feel alive and seen. Someone who is thoughtful and shows up for you. If they cannot show up, then that is a red flag. I would just go on the date and see how it goes. However, if you cannot get out of this she is not your type mindset, then just tell her you are not looking for anything right now. She will find someone who wants to pursue her. Story 114. She may be the person you need in your life. Just go on the date and have fun. Split the bill equally. Story 115. Safely. Laughing my ass off, you are too considerate. Just tell her you cannot make it. You are probably never going to interact with her again in your life. Story 116. What about her social media makes you feel she isn't your type? Is it some big red flags or just fakeness? You definitely shouldn't force yourself to go on a date that you don't want to. I've been there, done that, and it sucks. I've left wondering why I wasted my time every single time. As far as bowing out, you can simply tell her you're no longer interested, or you decided you don't want to or are not in a position to pursue a relationship right now, or really anything that's direct, tactful, but not personal. If she takes it personally, it's unfortunate but really not your responsibility. That's how dating goes sometimes. Rejection happens and feelings get hurt. If you're that sure, you'd have to break it to her eventually anyway. Story 117. Text her as soon as possible. Do not wait until the last minute. Keep it short. Hey, I do not think we are a match, so I would rather not waste your time. Hope you find someone great. Quick, painless, least rude. Story 118. Just go, and at the end, tell her that she is not really your type. That is that. Maybe you will have fun. Story 119. Some people put on a facade for social media. They want to look cool and be accepted. Unless she is exhibiting true deal breakers that go against your moral foundation, I suggest one date. If she is a nightmare in person, then you know at least you gave it a shot and can feel justified in letting her know you do not have enough in common to continue. Story 120. I would suggest going on a casual date like having coffee or taking a walk in the park. You can see how it is and leave if necessary. Social media does not represent real life. Story 121. You are going to appear like an unpleasant person no matter what. Life is not about avoiding looking unkind. Who cares? You will be the antagonist in someone's story. More importantly, you should get to know her before letting assumptions and social media posts influence your decisions. I would not cancel. Go on the date. If you do not like it, move on. Trying to be insincere to save someone's feelings is not the right approach. If you cancel, be honest and move on. At least she might respect your honesty instead of hearing excuses. Story 122. Simple, short, and to the point is better. You might say something like this: I've changed my mind and am going in a different direction. I wish you the best. If she asks for an explanation, you do not need to give it to her, but be respectful. You can reply with the same information. I decided to go in a different direction and did not want to waste your time. No one needs more of an explanation than that if you have decided not to see her. You do not need to reply to any other communications. You have said what you needed to say. You have done it politely and can move on, expecting her to do the same. If she continues to press, you can respond with one last reply. While we are not a fit, I wish you the best. As long as you are polite and to the point, most people will not need an explanation. Good for you for not ghosting her. Story 123. Go on the date, get to know her, and then decide. If you find her so unattractive that you cannot even consider going out with her just to chat, say that you are no longer interested and do not bother her again. Story 124. Go on the date. If you have a good time, go on a second date. If not, just say, it wasn't there for me. Story 125. Personally, I would still go, and then after that, if I do not like her, just say, I do not think it works. However, if you really must cancel, just tell the truth. I do not think we share the same views on what you disagree with. Story 126. In my opinion, if the only thing deterring you from going was her profile, feel free to cancel. You are going to have preconceived notions about what kind of person she is from a 30-second review of her posts. If I'm being honest, you should really reconsider dating for a while. You're only wasting time and should work on yourself a little. I mean, you met at a bar. Not to say that's a bad dating pool, but come on, your choices are pretty limited. If what's deterring you is the date itself, I want to push you to go. You never know how it will go, and you might have a better time than you thought you would. Story 127. If you're not interested in dating, just call and tell her you can't do it. Make up some excuse. One of my rants about people today is how everyone gets so wound up about dating, as if everything has to be perfect, and if it doesn't lead to a serious relationship, it's not worth it. I think about that the same way I think about not having sex until marriage. It's a bad idea to avoid experiences, as you end up generally stunted and inexperienced. It is possible to go out and have fun or pick a place where you know you'll enjoy yourself, and even if the other person isn't your soulmate, you can still have a good time together. When I was growing up in the 1970s, it wasn't a big deal to ask someone out, and it wasn't a big deal to go out with someone you weren't really into. Younger people, at least in my experience, didn't stress about that kind of thing nearly as much. It doesn't have to be a big drama. Story 128. Tell her you are gay and were wondering if you could go back, but decided Trevor was better in the right spot. Story 129. Well, now you have a perfect moment to feel like someone from the 1980s. There was no internet then, so imagine you never saw it. Just think about how dating used to work, and everyone is saying how that was much better. Story 131. Be a man and just go. The best things happen when there is no pressure. If something was wrong, say you met someone else and want to give that a fair chance. Out of curiosity, what made you change your mind? Story 131. Imagine if you were going on a date with a woman and she messaged you to cancel because she looked at your Instagram and did not like what she saw. This is shallow thinking. Unless she has personal videos of herself on Instagram, I cannot imagine what made you think this way. Story 132. You'll just have to live with hurting her feelings since there is no way around it. It depends on why she is not your type. Are there major value differences that are deal breakers for you? Is it more intermediate, meaning you do not think you will get along due to vastly differing interests? Or is it minor, such as she is not the hair color you actually like and you missed that in the darkness of the bar? If it is a major issue, you can be upfront about it and hope she is okay with that. If it is intermediate or minor, then go on the date, and if you still do not connect with her, decline a second date. Story 133. Be like the 17 girls who canceled on me by text after I already showed up to the place 5 minutes early. Story 134. You treat her the way you would want to be treated if it were the other way around, and you accept that there is nothing you can do to control her reaction. I usually say, I forgot I already have a commitment, and I cannot cancel it because it would be rude. But you have my number, and maybe we can do something soon if we are both free. Story 135. Tell her you are actually Batman and you just saw the bat signal, so you will be quite busy for a long time. Story 136. Just say you are not interested anymore, but I feel she may take it personally. There is nothing you can do without probably offending her. Story 137. I have changed my mind. Sorry, best of luck. Story 138. If the vibes are off, be polite but direct. Apologize for asking her out and say you are canceling. However, people do not learn anything from me since it is just records and shirts I own or sell, and random reposts or sports and show updates in my stories. So maybe give it one date. Story 139. Hey, sorry, I will not be available for our date. Thank you for your time, and sorry for the inconvenience. Story 140. Tell her your first impression was good, but after going home and looking through your social media, I have decided we may not be a good match. Her. Why? I saw a lot of posts about excessive drinking that I do not appreciate, and I am not comfortable being a father figure for those habits. Story 141. I can't tell what not your type means. If you nitpick people you hit it off with, then you shouldn't date outside of hookup culture. Seek therapy to understand what is driving that. If she had posts that were racist or actually repulsive, then shutting it down makes sense. Either way, you can just say, I'm not feeling it, and let them believe whatever they want about why. Their reaction will depend mostly on their own self-esteem and support network. Story 142. Did you know that the girls who give the best oral sex generally are not your type? It's true, but I guess you will never know. Story 143. Go beyond the internet and meet her in real life. Because who knows? I have also met some great girls who were not right romantically but became good friends. Story 144. I would say it plainly. After some thought, I no longer think we would make a good match and I do not want to see you anymore. Story 145. Just go on the date, man. You asked her out before you checked her profile. That's your responsibility. Story 146. I don't look at people's social media to form my opinion about them. If you relied on mine, everyone would think I am a complete jerk. I would take the chance, especially with the current male epidemic of loneliness. You never know what you could actually miss out on. For example, if a person likes to travel a lot and shares millions of pictures and videos, so what? She can keep traveling with her friends while we date. I don't let that stop me from liking someone. But if you really have to cancel, just be straightforward and say you are not feeling it and you are sorry for leading her on. Story 147. What is your type exactly and why do you even have one? Unless her social media is displaying something that is an absolute deal breaker, like she is racist or something similar, just go. She might be great for you. It will only cost you an hour and the price of a coffee. Story 148. Just be the asshole. She will frame you as such anyway. That is how it goes. I would be more concerned about why you think flaking on her is such a big deal when women do it in droves and think nothing of it. Story 149. I'm a woman. Keep the date. Make it a coffee or lunch date so it can end early if necessary. If you find during your date she is really not your type, tell her you were happy to meet her while sober, but she's not your type. There is nothing wrong with telling a woman that. I've told men before they aren't my type, and generally they take it well. I did have one guy who wanted me to explain myself. It was a conversation I did not want to have because he was not the sharpest knife in the drawer, and I wasn't sure he would understand my analogy. I told him that for me there are 3 categories of men: peaches, oranges, and lemons. I am only wanting to date a peach, and unfortunately you are a lemon. He said to me, "Who can I become a peach?" I answered honestly, "I'm sorry, you were born a lemon and you will stay a lemon. You just need to find a woman looking for a lemon." 6 months later, he was killed in a farming accident. He was riding a harvester when the blade got stuck on something. He got out to disentangle whatever was caught in the tines. He failed to turn off the engine and was sucked under the harvester. Like I said, not the sharpest knife in the drawer. Story 150. What were the posts and profile warnings? What was the date plan? How much fallout could there be? Story 151. Who does not look at the profile of the girl before texting her, especially before asking her out? Story 152. Do not be afraid. Go and be kind. Just make sure to stay at least 2 meters away from her, or she might become attracted to your masculine scent. Story 153. The old fade out. Tell her you tested positive for coronavirus to cancel the first date and that you want to reschedule. If she messages you in a week or so to reschedule, tell her you have to go out of town for work for a couple of weeks and to reach out when you are back, then never respond again. Story 154. Message her and say that after some time to consider it, you think she is cool but do not think you are interested in a relationship. Being honest is not complicated, but it can be difficult sometimes. Story 155. Tell her you had an accident and cannot make it. If she is not your type, you will not care how she views you going forward. Next time, do better research before you ask a woman out. Story 156. Say, saw your posts, sketch, EW. I do not want to see your personal side when that is what you show the world. Story 157. What has she been posting? It is difficult to do it without hurting her feelings because she will eventually realize, but if you meant, how can I do it without a confrontation? Then make up an emergency and agree to reschedule for a later date before blocking her on everything and ghosting her. Thanks a bunch for sticking around till the end of the video. Remember to subscribe, and until next time, stay awesome and goodbye.